See, damn it, what did I tell you? I know how this goes for the old Schleg Daddy. Start having a little bit of success, start getting a little confident, and then I get brought back down to earth. And last week I most certainly was with my picks. Only 7-9 in winners, 9-7 versus the spread. So season to date, I'm 30-17, picking straight up, and 27-20 versus the spread. So good, but not great. And hopefully trying to avoid the disaster that was last week. That was just a rough week. I don't know if it was for others, but I know it was for me. My best call of week 3 was picking Buffalo not only to cover, but Buffalo to win at home over the Denver Broncos, and they did that, so I don't feel like a complete idiot. But my worst call, knowing, even during the pick video how I talked about this is the type of game where the Steelers struggle, going on the road against a bad team like the Bears, I not only picked the Steelers to win, which was one thing, but I picked them to cover the spread. That was just dumb. That was my worst call of the week, because I even put it out there that this was going to be a tough game for the Steelers, and historically they don't do well here, and the Bears play better at home than they do on the road. I was focused too much on the Bears wipeout against Tampa on the road and not paying as much attention as I should have to week 1 with Atlanta and what happened at Soldier Field and how the Bears covered the spread there. That was my worst call of the week. So I'm going to turn it around week 4, by God. Let's go ahead and get into this. Thursday night, obviously, I picked Green Bay minus a 7 because, duh. And they validated me, unfortunately. I'm tired of being Green Bay's bitch here as a Bears fan, just saying. Let me fly through the rest of the games, though, and give you my picks. The London game, I know New Orleans is favored by 3. It's hard to pick it. I don't really know. I can't believe I'm going to do this because of who their quarterback is, but I'll take Miami to win and Miami to cover plus a 3. We're going to laugh about that one probably Sunday afternoon. Early Sunday games. Buffalo goes to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Falcons are favored by 9.5. I think the Falcons win, but I think that's a pretty big spread against a Buffalo defense that isn't that bad. I will take Buffalo to cover plus the 9.5. Cincinnati travels to Cleveland in a battle of the AFC North cellar. 2 teams that are 0-3, 2 teams that have no designs on the playoffs this year, believe me. The Bengals showed me at least a little bit of fight and a little bit of something offensively last week in Green Bay, but a lot of teams, frankly, could show you something offensively against Green Bay unless they're the Chicago Bears or maybe the Seattle Seahawks because they don't invest in an offensive line. The Bengals are favored by 3 here. If the spread was much bigger, I might pick Cleveland to cover, but I still like Cincinnati here. Give me Cincinnati minus 3. The Rams travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. The Cowboys are favored by 7. The Cowboys won a tough game Monday night against the Cardinals. Now they come back home for some home cooking. Give me Dallas and give me Dallas to cover minus the 7. Detroit goes to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Last week, of course, I sat there and said, if Sam Bradford plays, I'll take Minnesota minus the 1. If not, I'll take Tampa Bay plus the 1. Dumb. Should have just stuck with the Minnesota pick and see what the hell happened. But I didn't. But heading into this game, you've got the Vikings coming off of a big win against Tampa where Case Keenum threw for over 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns. You've got the Lions coming off of that tough loss at the end of the game to the Falcons with the rundown rule of the clock. Minnesota's favored by 1 here. You're going to have Case Keenum starting again. I'll take the Vikings minus the 1. Carolina goes to New England to take on the Patriots. New England's favored by 10.5. That spread is pretty big. The spread was even bigger last week for Houston, and ultimately Houston covered in a big way. I'm going to take New England to win, but give me Carolina plus 10.5. Jacksonville travels to the Jets, and I'm surprised that Jacksonville's only favored by 3 here. Give me Jacksonville minus the 3. Pittsburgh travels to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. This is always one of those tough, hard-fought type of close games. This is a real rivalry in the NFL, one of the best rivalries in the NFL. Taking Pittsburgh on the road is always tricky, especially because Big Ben doesn't play nearly as well on the road, and the Ravens usually match up pretty well against the Steelers. With that said, the Ravens are coming back from that 44-7 drubbing in London by the hands of the Jaguars. Their offense looks like shit. I'm going to have to take Pittsburgh minus the 3 because they got a wake-up call, I think, last week in Chicago. I'll take Houston to win and plus the 2 points over Tennessee because I don't really know at this point. It'd just be hard for me to see the Texans go 1-3, and I thought they played a really, really good game against the Patriots. They had a chance to win. So I'll take them to win at home. The late Sunday games, give me Arizona minus the 7. Give me the Chargers minus 2.5. an upset special because there's no real reason to do it, no real reason to say it. So what the hell, right? Why not? The Giants are traveling to Tampa. Give me the Giants to win and plus the 2.5. Oakland travels to Denver to take on the Broncos. Oakland looked terrible last week, but frankly, Denver didn't look very good either. This is one of these tough games, and even with the 3-point spread, it feels almost like a pick'em. I'll take Oakland to win plus the 3. Sunday night, you've got Seattle favored by 14 over the Colts. Seattle coming off of that road loss to Tennessee. They're sitting there at 1-2. This feels like the game. If they're going to piece it together this year, this is going to be the week that they have to do it. So even with that spread, it makes me really pause for concern. But we know a lot of these primetime games end up being wipeouts, frankly. I will take the Seahawks minus the 14. And then the Monday night game, Washington travels to Kansas City to take on the undefeated Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 7.5. I like the Chiefs in this matchup. I think that spread might be just a little bit big, especially because the Redskins played a really good game against the Raiders on last Sunday night. So I will take the Redskins to cover plus the 7.5. Again, you can go against me with your picks straight up and against the spread. Let's hope we do better. I know I will do better. I'll tell myself